And this is dated Shahjahanpur, dated 4th April 1960. You have, my dear Vardachari, you have written in the letter dated 6th March 1960 that you do not know when you should be aware of divine state at all. May I ask you whether you feel restlessness still to gain this divine state? The other thing you will please also intimate to me whether you feel the mood of thoughts quite distilled. Now I express the meaning Aditya Varanam Tamasah Parastat according to my poor ability. In chapter 8, sloka 9 of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has described the effulgent form of ultimate reality, which is the object of all upasanas. This is all the point of all beginning, as the word Adi in Aditya Varanam suggests. But beyond it lies the still finer regions of reality, which the Lord has described in slokas 20 and 21 of the same chapter. This is the region beyond all beginning, where even upasana in the ordinary comprehensible sense of the term has come to an end. As it may be dangerous to speak of the end of upasana before those who have not yet tasted the condition in natural way, the Aditya Varanam may be advantageously be described as the ultimate condition to them. You have stepped into the finer region of reality. So please note and compare your experiences, recalling your previous conditions through which you have already passed. He is beyond everything that can be imagined and seen or heard. We reach him after crossing the splendor and so on created by him. You have made a very fine point in attempting to derive the word anna from the root and breath instead of add to eat. The grammarians sometimes have failed to grasp the real significance of words from the point of view of the nature and development of reality due to their overemphasis on symbols and preoccupation with language. I saw a peculiar dream in the night of 30th March. What I remember, I lay before you, which may explain your meaning of Anna. Somehow I got the wound. This is all in dream. In the dream, somehow I got the wound of a dagger in the neck and died. I was thrown in the river. There was no breath, no beating in the heart, but I was conscious of what has happened. A man, knowing that I was assassinated by somebody, wanted to report to the police of the incident. So he examined me thoroughly. He examined the pulse which was stopped, and he also found the beating of the heart ceased. But I was aware of all this, although there was no breath. The life began to creep again. The beatings of the pulse commenced, and the heart resumed its function. Afterward, I got up from sleep and began to muse over it. I came to the conclusion that consciousness was there, although the breath and other things were not there, and the body was lying lifeless. It goes to show that consciousness is the root cause of life. I think this was the vision shown to me to solve the mystery of breath. How far I am correct in my judgment, I leave it to you. Regarding your spiritual state, I like to deal with it after some time, but I will not hesitate to say that I must give thanks to God that you have such an excellent state. The experience of the ultimate begins when every experience dies out. Those who have acquired Laya Avastha in Brahman as much as possible for the human being remain in it sometimes with full depth and sometimes a little shallow. A man fully absorbed in Brahman all the time cannot do any work but will look like a statue. The condition which you enjoy at present can be called little above the ignorance. Do you feel as if you have lost something? You have yourself written. You feel that all things have lost meaning, and you feel yourself as dead. Is it an ordinary state? If you translate the condition as living dead, it will explain your condition better. You are not laggard. Your abhyasis feel very good condition, which is due to your own state. I wish that you may be free from the marriages of the children and their education within 4 or 5 years, and the boys may become the earning members of the family. When the responsibility is over, you will be left free to devote yourself exclusively to the work of the mission. To tell you the truth, I live for the sake of the mission. The charms of life and the world are totally lost. I feel no interest in this world. Yours Ramchandra. ఎలా ఉంది ఇది?
ఫైనల్ స్టేట్కి వచ్చేసావు అని ఫైనల్ స్టేట్ గురించి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశాడు. ఇది యు ఆర్ స్టెప్డ్ ఇంటూ ఫైనల్ స్టేట్ అని ఒక దగ్గర చెప్పాడు. ఆ ఫైనల్ స్టేట్ అంటే సెంట్రల్ రీజన్నా లేకపోతే ఓషన్ ఆఫ్ బ్లిస్సా? దాన్ని డెఫినేషన్ ఫైనల్ స్టేట్ అంటే అల్టిమేట్ అంటే ఎట్లా తెలియదు అని అన్నారు. స్టెప్డ్ ఇంటూ ఫైనల్ స్టేట్ అంటే ఏ స్టేట్ అది? ఓషన్ ఆఫ్ బ్లిస్సా, సెంట్రల్ రీజన్ ఈయన లాంగ్వేజ్లో ఏంటి అది?
అక్కడికి పోగా నేను సెంట్రల్ రీజన్కి పోయినట్లు అని మీకు తోస్తుందా? అట్లాంటిది ఏం జరగదు. ఈజ్ నాట్ లైక్ దట్ అక్కడ పోగా నేను సెంట్రల్ రీజన్లో ఉన్నాను, ఈయన ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాను, అక్కడ ఉన్నాను అన్న ఫీలింగ్ ఈజ్ రాంగ్ థింగ్. ఇట్ వోంట్ కమ్ ఎట్ ఆల్. ది థింగ్ ఈజ్ దిస్, అక్కడికి పోతే ఏమీ ఉండదు, blank void. All experience dies there because there is no further to experience. You are traveling and on the way you see the posts. You have traveled 5 miles, 6, 10 miles like that. Signs will be there. They will be there. You will be facing them till you reach the final goal, final place. Once you transfer, they don't have any meaning. It is like that. There are no meanings at all. In fact, it is as if you have lost everything. It's a knowledge, less knowledge, what he says it is. Knowledge, less knowledge. But when occasion comes, all knowledge will be in you. You feel, any person seeing you will feel impressed by you, by your own. Though you are silent, you don't talk, they get impressed with you. That is the situation. You don't talk anything, but they get impressed. And that their impression depends upon the stage of their spiritual progress. What they feel is according to their stage of spiritual condition. The one who is in the beginning may not feel the same thing the one who has felt the ultimate one. So, feeling of spiritual condition depends upon their progress, their progress concerned. For himself, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't feel anything. It is a complete blank, void. And he is not feeling at all about it. Just like a Jagrata Sushupti, as if he is sleeping during the waking state. So no feelings, nothing, things becomes automatic. Of course, the interpretation is very difficult. Some says that it is, I already told you that condition, standing in water during summer season, he feels cool as well as heated at the top, but cool in the bottom of the body which is in the water. It is just like that. There was one incident, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's life, that is Durgashtami, Dasara Durgashtami. Swamiji was in Kali Mandir. He is residing in the same temple, and the management has made arrangement for his staying there. So, by his initiation, Durga Navaratris were performed in Kali temple, and they feed every day. They feed for 9 days they feed annam, that is for about 20 people, 30 people, whatever, whoever come there. And of course, it is being sponsored by the Shishyas itself, of course, that it goes on without saying. And in our village also, in town also, in Chennur also, we used to prefer, my father also used to do such things. Navaratras he used to feed. And other Brahmins also, during Vinayaka Navaratris and Ganapati Navaratras or Durga Navaratras, like that they used to perform. And we used to, they feed for 9 days daily, this area, that area, and so much. Ultimately they cover the entire town. We used to go, as we were small children, we used to go there and attend to those lunches which they give them. And after that, it is they used to feed on leaves, patroli, vistar they call it, and throw it outside. It's a common sight. And street people who are very big used to come and collect and eat from that. I have seen it in my own. The same thing was happening there in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa when he was preparing the Durga Navaratris at this point. So there also their feet and the patrolis are thrown outside, vistalus are thrown outside. One fellow came and eating out of that. And this Paramahamsa saw it. He was very much moved by this sight. He asked his Shishyas to prepare fresh with thalis or the maybe, and he took that to him to feed, give it that. When he saw Ramakrishna, he ran away. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also went behind him carrying this, requesting to take this. At one point he turned back, what he eaten, he thrown out, and it comes as a golden hue color. Ramakrishna was very much impressed by this achievement, spiritual achievement of that. And he wanted to touch the feet of that, but he was not there. He disappeared. Where he has gone, nobody knows. See, that is, all spiritual people need not be like that also. That is his prarabdha. Though his spiritual attainment is there, but his prarabdha karma nobody he cannot be removed. He has to live that like that only. Just Paramahamsa lived very famously with the Vivekananda, Shishya and other, he became very famous. All need not be like that. Prarabdha karma. So, attainment may be the same, but all need not have this. After attainment, life need not be the same as equal to all. That is the situation. It is a very difficult. You can't. If somebody asks, have you realized you are doing meditation for so many things, have you realized the God? It's a very peculiar question. And the person neither can say in positive nor can say negative. he just remains silent because it cannot be expressed. If he says he has realized, that means he has not realized. Just like, have you slept? I have slept means if he says that he has not slept. And he can't say that he has not realized also. So in either way he cannot express it. So he remains silent, given to the other person to get understand. Of course, other person will get a impression. Without his talking, he may get impression of his status a little and get influence. It happens in so many people. It has happened also. It happens. Just like you magnet you put and some iron files you throw it, automatically it attracts. It is nature. That is magnet's nature is to attract iron files. It attacks. It attracts. The same with the spiritual personality also. But I already told you that prarabdha karma is also there for it will not go after experiencing the spiritual attainment. Prarabdha cannot end. It has lived so long, he is surviving. That problem will be there. Just like Swami Vivekananda went on tour, he was asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that you go as a yati from place to place and don't stay more than 3 days at any place. That condition is there. And every yati, every sannyas who take the sannyasa has to perform that job also, that type of living, for at least experimentally. So Vivekananda also started moving from place to place to place. In those days, Rajasthan was there, but their small states were, so many states were there before independence. Sardar Patel, after independence, he merged all the Rajasthans into one big Indian Union. But before all states were there. So at that time, Vivekananda, he used to move from one state to in Rajasthan. And Rajas were very particular because of Vivekananda's spiritual attainment. Also, he became very famous also by that time. So, at one place, he was the guest of a Maharaja at one place. Naturally, all conditions will be there. Next day, he leaves that place and goes
somewhere else.
Somewhere else. He is not assured of even one-time meal. That is the atheist life. That situation is there like that.
Up and downs.
He has to move from place to place. Some place he gets all the conveniences. In other place he is deprived of all things. And for all these things he must not get affected. That is the main point of it. For that only all this is prescribed. To get that sahana, we call it sahana.
Patience.
So it's prescribed for yatis to go on tour, not live not more than 3 days at any place. So this in the same Maharaja's place, he got all the royal arrangements for 3 days while he stayed there. So in the sitting room of the Maharaja, their big photo was there, which is Maharaja's father's photo. They kept, Rajas there, they keep it natural, this thing. Somehow it fell down when they were sitting and talking. It fell down, and glass broken. And naturally, the king was very much perturbed. Inauspicious, he felt it is something inauspicious because his father's photo fell from the and Swami Vivekananda asked, why you are feeling? Okay, my father's photo has given fell down. That's why I am feeling. That's what I say. Your father, it is not photo for you. It is your father's image. That's why you give more value. I don't give that value because I am not concerned. But that photo is your father's. Naturally, you give that importance. Other person may not give it also. That paper was photos paper. Maharaj Nizam's photos was we used to in Chennur photos were there in our books. Nizam's 7th Nizam's books were sold. The photos was thrown on the torn and thrown on the road. Nobody bothered about it. Understand? It is concerned with the person concerned, but other person he tramples them and goes away. He doesn't feel it also. That's Vivekananda told him. It is not photo for you, your own father's. You feel for it. Other fellow maybe just trample it and go away. If that is situation. So it is actually your father is in your mind. Not only if he is anybody else also. If I am talking to you means you are in my mind. If I don't have any mind means
you cannot
I not recognize you nor I can talk to you. Mind is more important in this body. Mind is more important. All things happen in the mind. Then they come down to sensor organs, then motor organs. There are 5 sensor organs, 5 motor organs, and they become solid. When they pass through from mind, in a unidimensional state, a very small, subtle state. But when they come down to 5 sensor, it is little grosser. But more gross it becomes when it comes to motor region. It becomes 3-dimensional. Understand? In the mind is unidimensional. In sensor organs is 2-dimensional. When it comes to 3-dimensional solid, that's what he was explained. He explained to the Maharaja how things happen. That all things are in our mind. The mind is more important. So he used to instruct and tell all these spiritual things wherever he goes, and whoever entertains me for the time and so on. At one time, one place, he recorded all these things, recorded in Vivekananda's store diary. At one place he gone and heard that there is a great yogi. People say, so he used to ask anything to be important, to be known or seen. Any new people comes, they say you go to Charminar, you go to this place, you go to Ramoji, this is, we tell like this. And same thing, he was asked, there is a guru, famous spiritual man, you go. Naturally, he was very much interested. One way he went there, he was not allowed to see him, that spiritual man. He was sitting behind a curtain. And used to and talk to Vivekananda, but he did not expose himself directly to the view of the Vivekananda. He was surprised, what is this all? He said, I don't want to become solid in your mind. I want to be an image in your mind rather than solid in yourself. So he talked to spirituality to that point, and he explained why you were. So he explained all that. But anyway, he says, Vivekananda felt this is not the spirituality at all. He was thinking. That's why he remarked, spirituality has gone into kitchen room. He said, spirituality has gone into kitchen room. Ladies follow more of religion. Religion and spirituality has gone into kitchen room, because nowadays religion is being practiced by women. This vratam, that vratam, like that. But males have completely forgotten all this religious aspect of the life. That's why he laughingly remarked, religion has gone into kitchen room. At one time, he's a great man, of course. That's the lesson. Vivekananda's life history. So what I'm going to say is, things go on happening. It's very difficult what is spiritual and what is not spiritual to decide. You can't say this phenomena, existent phenomena is only spiritual, reflects spirituality, and this does not reflect the spirituality. That's existence of life phenomena. It's very difficult to say. It's all Christian, and more so in Hinduism. Hinduism, you see, so many stories, and daily they are creating same from old story. TV we are seeing that fellow who Ramananda, say he created Mahabharata, Ramayana. He has created and put into film format as Ramayana. At one time it was so popular that in marriages at 10 o'clock means nobody used to come to marriages until you put that TV and allow that scene to be seen, Ramayana scene, a particular scene at that time, because if marriage is held to be at the 10 o'clock, which is coinciding with the TV program of Ramayana, nobody used to come unless you put the and people they have seen, they are putting all this in him. That fellow, he is now creating the same Ramananda creates so many things now in the TV. That's what I say. He creates it. Original something, he go on modifying it. It becomes a story. Mal masala, he puts mal masala more interest as a business. That's what he's doing. Sometimes I get pained all that what he's presenting on the TV. Because of business, things have become, religion has become a business in India. But you say in Muslims it is not so. Christianity is there, not so much as we have got, but in Muslims, Islam, it is not there. They don't.
Only one method.
What is there stated in the book, Quran only should be they accept, otherwise they kill you also. They preserve what their Rasul has told. Those words say they preserve what is written in the Quran, what is told, what is told by Prophet Muhammad. It is recording of the Prophet Muhammad's speeches. The Quran is nothing but Prophet Muhammad's teachings of the ultimate reality. That is Quran, and that is only they accept it. And if somebody goes behind, they try to kill. Don't accept it. That is the situation. That's why it is coming up unaltered, same thing. But Hinduism has become a story. Big Narada is. I see I pity that Narada. He became messenger boy, postman. Or everything. There is no. Actually, it was not there. They create it. Unfortunately, great saint, Brahma Rishi, Deva Rishi, great Rishi, but he made so cheap that for everything he is part of routine. For small things, nothing, which is not at all. Why should he come all the way for this small Enkaya Pullaya's life? That is the situation. In the same Sri Krishna's life also have made compulsory. That's a dirty mess. Though he is a great saint and he is a avatara, but they made day to day. Now the Ramananda made it big fuss of it about it, because he wants to create mal masala and a story about it, and for that he goes on creating the scenes. That is the situation. That is what we call Pauranika aspect of it, stories aspect of it, and nobody can do anything for that. You cannot go to court also there, because Paurana means stories only. Paurana means stories only. 18 Puranas are there. And that is the situation. Sometimes Narada's that he made is a part of Narada, as if it is something a messenger, postman. It's painful. He is a great Deva Rishi. But how his life is depicted. Naturally, all do not have original knowledge of the Shastras. They carry, they go, Narada means like this only. Natural people, they do not have Shastras knowledge of how Shastra depicted Narada. They don't have it. They see these cinemas, and there they are getting, oh, Narada means like this. It pains me a lot when I see the role of Narada. Lane Dikra, Ram Dikra, cha. That is the situation of our religion nowadays. That's why, of course, spirituality is beyond religion. Spirituality is beyond religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It becomes Atman. And naturally, Upanishads, after 12 Upanishads are there are 100 Upanishads, but 12 Upanishads are more important because Adi Shankara has written commentary on 12 only. That's why we recognize those as more important than 12 Upanishads, because he has written the commentary. There are 100 Upanishads are there, different types. So that's the situation. Very, very, very difficult. Let's say it is a big mess. Hinduism become a big mess. Because I don't know, that is the situation. And when this goes into politics, you can imagine it. For their political end, build Rama Mandir, this Mandir, that Mandir, all this, all for the sake of voting and all these things. People have come down to that level. Hinduism has come down to that level. Very, very painful. But we are helpless, we can't do anything. That's the only thing. Paritranaya sadhana ధర్మ సంస్థాపనార్థాయ సంభవామి యుగే యుగే అంటాడు. ధర్మ సంస్థాపనార్థ సంభవామి యుగే, ధర్మ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ బై కమ్యం యుగే. యుగం అంటే వేల కొద్ది లక్షల కొద్ది సంవత్సరాలు. ద్వాపార యుగానికి దీనికి 4 లక్షల తేడా. ద్వాపార యుగం 10 లక్షలు అయితే కలియుగం 4 లక్షలు. 4 లక్షలు 1 లక్ష కూడా కాలేదు. ఇది ఎప్పుడు ద్వాపార యుగం తగ్గింది అన్నమాట. You can understand how things will be there. It's we can't help it. Very painful, very painful. It's all right. Anything more you want?